this is Tomlin from TomlinHarmonicaschool.com, and today I'm going to talk about a subject that is really, really important, but it's not the first thing that people think about when they're learning harmonica. So the thing that people really, really focus on when they start learning harmonica is, what can I buy? What physical things can I buy? So the first thing is buying a harmonica. And often people will buy a harmonica and they'll do loads of research on it. They'll get really excited by the purchase and then they'll start playing it and it doesn't sound the way they want it to sound. So then they'll start buying more harmonicas and they still don't sound the way that they expect them to sound. And so they think, well, maybe I should start taking some harmonica lessons. So you then go onto YouTube and you do a search for harmonica lessons and you see thousands and thousands of lessons. There are lessons from me, Tomlin. There are lessons from Ronnie Shellist, Adam Gusso, Jason Ritchie, Liam Ward, Will Wild, Dan Gage. So many. There are so many lessons. And actually, everything that you need to get really good on the instrument is available for free on YouTube. But why do people still struggle to get better at the instrument, especially in the early days, especially kind of getting beyond that beginner stage? Well, I think that it's because they're lacking the most important thing, but possibly the least sexy thing, which is a mentor or a teacher, or someone who can give them feedback because they have a little bit more knowledge and experience. So let me show you the importance of feedback with an example from my harmonica school, one of my students called Jim, who was working on something that I teach in the school called comping, which sounds a little bit like this. Okay, so what Jim did is he started learning the comping exercise that I teach, and then he posted a recording of it in my students only forum, and it sounded like this. Okay, so when I heard this, I told Jim that I thought he should work just on the comping rhythm and not the licks. So the main focus should be the comping rhythm for now. And that he really needed to work on singling out single notes and making the chords really wide afterwards on the same breath. So not separating them, but doing them on the same breath. And then articulating the chord with a ta or a da sound. And finally making sure that the rhythm is more of a shuffle rhythm than a straight rhythm. So just really quickly, a shuffle rhythm versus a straight rhythm. Okay, so that was the feedback that I gave him, and then a few days later he posted this recording. Okay, so I listened to this recording from Jim and it was sounding better, but I told him to make sure that the chord was slightly quieter than the clean single notes. And also I noticed that he was missing the one draw from the second half of the comping riff. So that was the feedback that I gave him. He went away and practiced for a few more days and then posted this recording. Okay, so I was really pleased when I heard this recording because it was really starting to come together. And all I said after that was to really make sure that the rhythm was a shuffle rhythm rather than a straight rhythm, which means that the clean note is going to be slightly longer than the chord. So Jim went away for a few more days and then came back with this recording. Okay, so I heard that and I was really pleased because the comping rhythm now sounds brilliant. And you've hopefully heard that, it took, well, it was probably a couple of weeks of practice, but it also took getting very specific feedback about what needed to be refined and how to refine it to then fix everything and end up with the perfected rhythm. So after I heard that recording from Jim, I said to him that he could now start bringing the licks back in, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he does with that next over in the forum. So hopefully that's illustrated to you why it's so important to get feedback, especially in the early days, because quite often we hear a recording, we try and play along with it, and we think that it sounds pretty close to it and leave it at that. But if a slightly more advanced player or a teacher hears you doing it, they'll instantly be able to say, okay, you're on the right track, but. And that but is really, really important because it shows you exactly what you need to be working on, and it helps you to develop your own critical ear. Okay, so what I suggest you do now is you go out and you find yourself a mentor or a teacher. So this can be someone who's been playing harmonica a little bit longer than you. It can be an online harmonica teacher. There are so many great teachers now. Todd Parrott does great Skype lessons, Ronnie Shellis, Will Wild, Liam Ward. There are so many private teachers that you can access online, and there are many more that I haven't mentioned, and I'm not ignoring anyone on purpose. It's just there are so many good teachers. You can do that, and I think that that's a much better way to spend your money than buying loads and loads of harmonicas in the early days. And then finally, if you want to work with me, then I provide feedback to all of my students over at my online harmonica school, tomlinharmonicaschool.com, which is a monthly subscription site where you get step-by-step curriculum to so you know exactly what you need to be working on, and then I provide unlimited feedback on your playing when you post it in the forum for me to listen to. So if you want to work with me, click on the link in the description below to find out more. And before you run away and do that, you can do a little something for me. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up by hitting the like button below. And if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe right now, because I upload new harmonica content every week. I do podcasts, I do lessons, I do gear reviews, I do all sorts of harmonica related goodies. So subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I will see you next week. Take it easy. Happy harping.